Okay, so today we're going to be talking about tools, and specifically the tools that I've been using for the past year on this channel. And let's jump right into it with my favorite tool and probably the most essential tool if you're going to be working with foam, and that is the Olfa knife. It's really simple to use. It has this single little knob that you can tighten and untighten. If you untighten it, you can move the blade up and down, making it longer as you need it. Also, you can loosen it up and take the blade completely out and replace it with a brand new blade. The Olfa brand blades are the ones I use. They seem to be a little thicker, a little heavier, and last longer. So looking at this thing, quick little turn, bring it up, tighten it down into place, and then go to town cutting out a piece of foam that you're going to use for your base. This is a rock base. I carve up, just taking out chunks off the side. This thing works like a dream. And then little nicks in the top, and you're good to go. Here we have a pair of scissors. This is a Westcott scissors. I don't know if they're good or not. I stole them from my wife, and I just found that they worked better than my Olfa blade or my X-Acto knife for cutting things like popsicle sticks. These are skinny sticks, bamboo skewers, toothpicks, anything made out of wood. These things seem to do much better. The pieces do fly all over the place though. This is a 2-temperature glue gun, and there is a control for the temperature of this glue gun at the bottom of the handle, and you can either go low or high. I go low temps usually when I'm working with foam, high temps when I'm working with wood or metal. Here's an example of me using it with the cage project I did. A little bit of glue on wood. It's really stringy though. That's one thing you have to look out for. A lot of glue stringiness all over the place. Here I'm gluing some hinges into place. This is metal hinges on wood. A little bit of hot glue, and Bob's your uncle. You're all done. And then I even used the glue gun to glue the frame onto the side of the foam column. Next up we have rulers. So I would recommend, if you're going to get rulers, you're going to want to get metal ones, because wood or plastic is going to chip as you're using your metal blades, and you're going to slip here and there, and you're just going to eat them up. So I would go with some metal rulers. I have 2 different ones that I use. One's actually that short ruler you saw beforehand, and here, this is actually a carpenter square. And this is really good for getting straight edges and making sure you're getting 90-degree cuts. If you got a factory edge, it's really good to line that up and get some straight cuts that way, or just to measure the length of where you want your cuts to be. Another cutting tool I think is invaluable is the X-Acto knife. Probably one of the most famous pieces or tools that you can get for crafting. I use this all the time, and I don't use it just to cut. Sometimes I'll use it to nudge things into place. I'll get glue on the blade all the time, so you want to make sure you have plenty of blades laying around. Or I'll do stuff like this, where I'm using it more like a pocket knife and whittling the edges of barbecue skewers to make a barricade to guard against goblins. Or if I'm a goblin, using it as a barricade to guard against heroes. Yeah, there it goes, dueling that blade up. This is an unusual pick, but this is my favorite new tool for the year, and it's allowed me to add metalworking to my crafting. And this here is a jeweler's anvil, and this, along with a jeweler's hammer or mallet, I'm not sure which it would be, but here's my little hammer. And these 2 things together allow me to shape spools of little metal wire, both steel and aluminum. I've done both. I've even done copper. And you can use this to make little hinges or doorknobs or pieces of metal that wrap around your doors to give a little bit of metal aspect to your crafting. I'm even working currently on building some crow's cages out of metal, just giving it a try and seeing what it looks like. Here I am just pounding this flat so that I could use it for those crow's cages I was talking about. Next up, we have brushes. You'll want to get cheap brushes. You don't want expensive ones unless you're going to be doing miniature painting. Then yeah, you want some of the nice brushes, but for crafting terrain, you want the cheapest brushes you can find. Dollar store, Walmart, doesn't matter. Buy them in the full pack, like 20 brushes for $1.50. Here I am doing dry brushes with one of the brushes that was in a pack that I bought. You definitely don't want to be using nice brushes when you're laying down some Mod Podge base coating. And definitely don't want to be using it either if you're going to be spreading out some PVA glue on a base before you lay down some flocking. Definitely use those crappy brushes. And speaking of Mod Podge, this stuff is fantastic, and if you're going to be working with foam, you're going to want to pick some up, mix it with some brown or black to add a base coat of paint to your foam. It helps protect it and lay down a base coat at the same time. Next up, we have some paints. I usually get the small 2-ounce bottles of craft paint, 79 cents each. You only need like 5 colors to start out. I would recommend a dark gray, brown, black, white, and suede or tan. And last up, we have a self-healing Fiskar mat. You can get them where they're double-sided, which I would recommend. 1-inch grids with some little dots in between the 1-inch grids that mark out 1/4 inches. And self-healing, you've got 2 sides, so once one side's used up, you can flip it over and get more use out of it. And that's it. Those are the tools I use. So let me know what tools you use down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Comments down below, as always. And until the next video, which will be coming out tomorrow, have fun and keep crafting.